Hey, what's up guys? I just wanted to come at you with a video tutorial for those of you who are virtual DJ users and CDJ 2000 owners and you want to use the two in conjunction with one another. Now you may have one or you may have two of the Pioneer CDJ 2000s. If you only own one, you can use it fully with virtual DJ, and I will show you how to do that in the upcoming minutes. Now, with the CDJ 2000 and using it with your computer with the software for virtual DJ, there are a few things that we need to do ahead of time in order to get things prepped so that the two units, your computer and the CDJ 2000, can communicate with one another. So let's start by going to the computer and I'll show you what you need to do to get set up. What you're going to want to do is go to the Pioneer website and you're going to need to download the firmware update for your CDJ 2000. The firmware update I think is like 3.01 or something like that. When you download the firmware update, it will be a zip file, so you need to unzip it, and when you do, when you extract the files, you'll get 4 update files, which are these ones right here. And what you want to do is you want to unzip those or extract them to your flash drive. And you will have those 4 on your flash drive. Now it's important to have these 4 files, have them extracted to the main folder in your flash drive. The other file that you are going to download is the driver, which you'll see on the website right beside the firmware update. Now the driver, you don't need to, it's not zipped, but you just need to download it. And you can download this directly onto your desktop if you wanted. And the third update, which is not critical or important, you probably want to get the new update for Rekordbox software, which is 1.2.3.0. And that's what those 3 will look like. These 4 once they're unzipped, and these other 2 once you download them. Alright, so once you've unzipped the firmware file and you've downloaded the driver, what you're going to want to do is the firmware you're going to use for your CDJ 2000. So what you're going to want to do is you are going to turn your unit off. You are going to hold down the USB button and your reloop exit button at the same time. You are going to power the unit on, and you're going to wait for a few seconds. And eventually you will get something on the screen here. You probably can't see it very well. Connect USB storage device into the top of USB port, which is right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those unzipped, your flash drive with those unzipped files, you're just going to plug and play. So you're going to plug it in and it will automatically read it, and you will get a couple lines coming across your screen uploading or updating the new files. Okay? Once you are done, and it says 100% for your firmware update, you're just going to power your unit back on. And what you should get at the very bottom of the screen when it powers on is it should say version 3.0. So now we have the firmware update for the CDJ, and we are good to go with our CDJ. Install current drivers for our computer so that our computer can communicate with our CDJ. So I've already downloaded the driver onto my USB. Again, like I said, this could be downloaded directly onto your computer. So what you're going to do is you're going to open it up. And it will say select the language, OK, I agree, OK, check for open applications, and it's basically just saying shut down all applications while you install it. It's installing, and it'll just say finish once you're done. It's that simple, that quick. So now our firmware is updated for our CDJ, and the drivers are current for our computer. So now that we have updated our drivers and the firmware, we need to set our configurations in Virtual DJ itself, and I'm running, I think, version 6.1 or 6.2, whatever the most current version is. So what you're going to want to do is open Virtual DJ. You're going to go into the config men right up here. You're going to open that up and you will get this screen here, and it will have 3 sections for your inputs, your outputs, and your sound card. Now the way I have this set up in order to work with one CDJ is I have, for the inputs, I have none. For the outputs, I have external mixer. For the sound card, I have the ASIO sound card, and I'm using the Maya 44 USB audio ASIO driver. Now, the drivers for my Pioneer CDJ are also in here and they are installed. So if you had 2 CDJs and you were running them directly to your computer, you could use the CDJ ASIO drivers. Now the reason why I am using the Maya driver is because of the way I have it set up specifically for one CDJ, and I'll explain that in a moment. So once you have those settings, click Apply, OK, and now we are good to go with almost every aspect except for our hardware. So now that our firmware and our drivers are updated and our configurations are set in Virtual DJ, one of the important hardware pieces that we're going to need is a USB cable specific to setting this up. The USB cable itself will have 2 ends. One that looks like a standard USB and the other one that looks like a printer USB. 1 cable, 2 ends. This end here will go directly into your CDJ 2000, into the back, and you'll see a port that says USB. And this end, of course, goes directly into your computer. Now that that is plugged in, on your CDJ screen, it will have a picture of a CDJ and a laptop, and it will say push to connect. You want to push your dial and you'll see a picture of the CDJ with the computer and a line connecting the two. What your CDJ is now telling you is that your CDJ is now connected to the computer and you can now use it as a MIDI controller. Now this part is important because if you don't get this right, this could you're not going to be able to get sound coming from your speakers because you don't have your sound channel set up correct. So being clear that this is a MIDI controller, we don't actually have any sound coming directly from this unit. All of our music and sound is coming directly from our computer through Virtual DJ. In order to get that sound coming out of our speakers, we need to have it going through our mixer, of course, which is common sense. Now, in order to do that, the way that I have this configured is the computer is loading the music. It is going from the computer, okay, and it is going from a USB plugged in Maya 44. This is an external sound card, and that is why in the configuration I said ASIO sound card instead of the Pioneer sound card. So the sound is going from our computer to this external sound card, and I only have the outs plugged in. And those outs are going out and into channels 2 and 3 on my mixer. What this is now allowing us to do when Virtual DJ is reading, or the way it's understanding the setup is it's seeing it as 2 separate units now, because we have the 2 outs going from channel 2 and channel 3.